If we're being honest with ourselves, nearly every single celebrity beauty brand that has ever launched post-pandemic has been a massive failure. Miserable failure, but there are some of those celebrity beauty brands that have flopped harder than others. And one of those celebrity beauty brands for me has to be JLo Beauty. And in today's video, I want to take a look at what went wrong, why the brand even existed in the first place, and what really makes JLo Beauty a flop. And kind of like, where can they go from here? But first, a brief overview. Who is Jennifer Lopez? If you don't know, despite your own personal opinions on her, she is a pop culture and beauty icon. Jennifer Lopez has had a pretty extraordinary and successful career, despite your own personal opinions or the kind of drama that she seems to be getting into recently with her odd public appearances and interviews and stuff. She's had a really successful career as both a singer and an actor, making her one of the most influential and recognizable figures in entertainment. I think once you get your Madame Tussauds statue, you can say you're an icon. And she really rose to stardom like around 1999 with her debut album On the Six. It featured huge pop hits like If You Had My Love, Waiting for Tonight. I fucking loved these songs growing up. They were incredible. And of course, everybody knows like Jenny from the Block, Love Don't Cost a Thing. Despite there being questions floating around about whether or not she's actually singing on these tracks, but you know, that's another discussion. That's not this video. These songs all solidified her status as a pop icon. And of course, we cannot forget her acting career, playing the iconic Selena, one of my favorite films. And this role earned her critical acclaim and made her the first Latina actress to earn over $1 million for a film. And again, despite your personal feelings, back in the day, you could argue that she broke barriers for Latina representation, not just in Hollywood, but also in the music industry, making her an influential cultural figure. So where does beauty all come into this? So back in the early 2000s, Jennifer Lopez wasn't really just known for her singing and acting abilities. She was also known for what's called the JLo Glow. She always had this like radiant, glowing, almost like bronze skin that became an integral part of her brand. And people wanted this glow. Like people really, really wanted this glow. The JLo Glow really symbolized youthful healthiness, plumpness to the skin. And this JLo Glow was talked about constantly back in the early 2000s whenever she was on like the red carpet, doing interviews, TV appearances, even in film. It had, as I mentioned, this metallic bronze shimmery look, and many knew this glow wasn't just skincare. Like it wasn't like glass skin kind of thing. People weren't massively into skincare back then, but knowing that this was a mix of skincare and mostly makeup, this made this JLo Glow look more attainable. Celebrity makeup artists like Scott Barnes played a big role in creating this like luminous look, which really emphasized the use of bronzer, highlighter to highlight her soft, glowing, youthful skin. You know, Lopez did credit her glow to a combination of self-care and a healthy lifestyle, plus her makeup. But as I said, this trend was more about just JLo's physical appearance. People started referring to the JLo Glow as an image of empowerment, self-care, and of course taking pride in one's appearance regardless of age. And as I said, it really was like it popularized a dewy glow. Everything was about matte skin back then, so it was glass skin before glass skin was even a thing. A very different take on it though. And this of course led to many collaborations and contracts with big beauty brands. From 2011 to around 2016, JLo was the face of various L'Oreal campaigns, including promoting their hair care, skincare, and cosmetic lines. She was everywhere, you couldn't escape her, wasn't a bad thing. One of her major campaigns was actually for L'Oreal hair color, I believe it was, like a sulfate-free coloring system. She did a collaboration with Inglot back in 2018, which featured over 70 pieces of makeup, including bronzers, eyeshadows, lipstick, and highlighters to capture JLo's signature glowy look. And one of her most popular beauty products actually being her own fragrance, Glow by JLo. And arguably, still to this day, this is one of the most iconic celebrity fragrances around. I haven't smelled it yet. I don't know what it smells like. I should look that up. I should look that up when doing this, actually. And she launched other fragrances like Still, Live, and Promise. She worked with Gillette Venus in 2011, Luxe Hair in 2013. You know, she was heavily involved in the cosmetics world. This all being said, her peak in popularity is still said to be around the 2001-2003 time period. That's when her JLo Glow was at the height of media popularity. And while she may have been busy building a fragrance empire, it would have been the perfect time perfect time for her to launch her own JLo Glow skincare line. So why did she wait 2 decades? Fast forward to 2021 and JLo Beauty launched in January the 1st of 2021, and the brand was introduced with the tagline, "Beauty has no expiration date," focusing on skincare products designed to give users radiant, youthful, plump, dewy skin, just like the skin of Jennifer Lopez's iconic JLo Glow. Not that anyone really cares about the JLo Glow in 2021. We'll talk about that in a minute. The line currently includes that JLo Glow multi-masking serum, that blockbuster wonder cream, that hit single gel cream cleanser, that big screen SPF 30 moisturizer, that star filter instant complexion booster, that fresh take eye cream, that limitless glow sheet mask, that Inner Love dietary supplement. The names feel a little bit outdated, like that hit single gel cream. But all these products are supposed to represent JLo's beauty philosophy, which is really centered around hydration, radiant skin, and a healthy, youthful appearance. The line also emphasizes her belief in both topical skincare and inner wellness and well-being and health and all that kind of stuff to achieve that JLo Glow. JLo launched her skincare line at a time when it seemed like every single celebrity you could name was launching a skincare or beauty line. Harry Styles, Scarlett Johansson, Halsey, Vanessa Hudgens, and Madison Beer had a skincare brand together. Becky G, Iggy Azalea, Naomi Osaka, Kylie Jenner launched her baby line around that same time. Jennifer Aniston apparently has a beauty line somewhere. Ellen DeGeneres, I could go on and on. We were exhausted. We were so exhausted with not just the launch of celebrity skincare lines, but skincare had become a real trend and brand after brand were popping up or launching more and more and more. We just needed a break, and JLo launched at a time when there was a lot of skincare noise. That being said, Jennifer Lopez has been so involved in the beauty world before. A JLo skincare brand kind of makes sense, and people were intrigued about what's going to set her brand apart from the countless other celebrity launches that we've seen that year. Let's start with what went right with JLo Beauty. JLo, who was around 51 when she launched this brand, I believed, right off the bat wanted this brand to be inclusive of all ages, with the tagline "Beauty has no expiration date," which, despite us being in a world of more genderless, ageless skincare brands, I do believe it's still important to remind certain demographics that this brand is also for them. Jennifer Lopez has spoken very openly before in countless interviews about beauty and aging. Actually, in an interview with Oprah Daily, she discusses how her skin has changed and how she's matured, stating that you do have to be aware of what's happening with your skin as you start maturing, getting older, because it does evolve. She says, "I'd started developing milia and certain creams and moisturizers were suddenly too heavy. My skin didn't respond the way it did 10 years ago." And she clearly had those changing skins in mind when creating this brand. Plus, media coverage for the brand was initially very good. I will say that I believe JLo Beauty was widely covered more in beauty editorials than fucking Ellen DeGeneres or, whoever else was launching something that year. Again, because it kind of made sense. And beauty editors, influencers, and media outlets actually extensively covered the launch, eager to try the products or just report on them, whether it was good or bad. All press is good press. As well as major beauty retailers like Sephora and Amazon really quickly added JLo Beauty to their stores, increasing accessibility and further amplifying the buzz for her brand. And again, the initial reviews were pretty good, mixed, but leaned more towards the positive. Many users praise the packaging, which we'll talk about soon, and the glow-enhancing effects of the products, especially the serum and the moisturizers. It's important to note that these initial reviews were from beauty editors, where we're not really sure if these were sponsored posts or, maybe they just want to stay in JLo's good books, and also JLo superfans who rushed out to buy these products and give them a positive review. So JLo Beauty got off to a really, really good start. So what went wrong? What made this brand a flop? Well, there's a few things that could have been improved on. And when I say a few things, this is going to be the longest part of the video, is the what went wrong. Let's start off with the most obvious, shall we? Sales performance and market saturation. Despite having a dedicated fan base and undoubtedly being a beauty icon herself, the hype surrounding the launch of JLo Beauty was severely lacking. As I mentioned, there was a a really good initial interest, way more than we saw with other beauty brands. But when you compare the hype surrounding other celebrity beauty brands like Fenty Beauty or Kylie Cosmetics, Rare Beauty, for example, JLo Beauty just did not generate any initial buzz or large devoted fan base after its initial launch. There wasn't a viral strong moment. There wasn't a standout product, like a flagship product for the brand. Nothing stood out in an extremely crowded skincare market. And this could be because of market saturation. As I mentioned, by the time JLo Beauty launched in 2021, the market was already saturated with celebrity skincare brands. Again, including those heavy hitters like Fenty Beauty, Rare Beauty, which set higher standards for quality, inclusivity, and innovation, not just amongst celebrity beauty brands, but the beauty space in general. And JLo Beauty didn't seem to offer a clear differentiation to carve out its own space. Like, it was like, oh, okay, like what? Even when you compare the type of products that JLo Beauty initially launched with, along with the look, the packaging, and the marketing, her products look and sound extremely outdated. And these products may have worked back in 2001, but not in 2021. And on that note, was JLo still even relevant in the beauty space? JLo Glow is the original glass skin, as I mentioned, but since then, we've seen beauty trends change, circle round, be renamed, and we've also seen that you don't have to be a beauty icon in order to launch a successful beauty brand. Before the launch of Rare Beauty, although incredibly stunning, I don't think people would have considered Selena Gomez a key player in the beauty space when it comes to business, yet her brand is one of the most successful celebrity beauty brands of all time, making over 60 million in revenue in the first year, which sounds about average, but now being valued at over $2 billion. She's done pretty well, right? Especially when you compare that to JLo Beauty with an estimated worth of around $100 million. In my opinion, the difference is that Selena Gomez wasn't necessarily the face of the brand. It doesn't come off as a celebrity beauty brand. Rare Beauty could stand alone without anyone ever knowing that Selena Gomez was behind the brand itself. And unlike JLo Beauty, Rare Beauty really had its viral moments and instantly iconic best-selling products like the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush was everywhere. I'm not even on makeup TikTok and I saw it all the fucking time. It had its viral moments, which is so important nowadays. And I know I'll get some comments about why I'm comparing two women and how I shouldn't pit them together, but I compare because they launched fairly close in time, but also every single men's celebrity skincare line has failed and or is not good. Human Race is decent actually, Pharrell's brand, but all the others, where the fuck did they go? They just weren't successful. So I think JLo was about 20 years too late to the game. So the initial reviews of JLo Beauty were very good. Very good, people liked them, but these reviews, as I said, were from superfans and beauty editors. It was when the skincare influencers specifically got their hands on the products that the reviews started to become a lot more lukewarm, shall we say, with most skincare reviewers, including myself, stating that while the products were actually decent, they weren't groundbreaking or unique enough to justify the price tags or to even exist. With also the main point of the brand coming into question, where was that JLo Glow? Where was it? Many felt that results just didn't live up to the hype. They were moisturizing, they were hydrating, but they were nowhere near glowy or dewy. So before we move on, let's take a look at one of the products. This is a product that I actually tried. Let's take a deep look at that JLo Glow serum, because I feel like this is a good example of the brand's overall ingredients and overall theme. On their website, they say, like its namesake, this mega-rich serum is a groundbreaking multitasker. A sugar-derived matrix brings surface tightening and lifting you can feel immediately. Soothing Japanese rice sake and yeast-derived ferments soothe, condition, brighten, and plump the look of skin, while a hero JLo Beauty Olive Complex and antioxidant-rich 4-part olive blend of squalane, fermented oil, extra virgin oil, and leaf extract packs clinically shown all-day moisturization and superstar glow. Now, the words groundbreaking stand out here, but really, there's nothing truly original or groundbreaking about this product or any other products throughout the line, in my opinion. They themselves highlight rice ferment, yeast ferment, which we've all been using in K-beauty and J-beauty for so long that this isn't necessarily interesting to us. Niacinamide, you can't escape nowadays. Green tea, again, is in pretty much everything. And of course, the olive oil complex, which we'll discuss in more detail in a bit. But it's olive oil. It moisturizes, it's an antioxidant, but it's olive oil. And they really tried to market this as being the key to this JLo Glow, but it's just such a common ingredient that you can find in hundreds and thousands of products. And they teamed it with squalane and a few other bits and called it a complex. It's not really that amazing. That being said, the products were nice. Incredibly moisturizing, soothing, and in fact, actually, I had a hydrofacial recently, and I picked the JLo Beauty add-on because I knew it was gonna soothe my skin. I knew there was like rice bran in it, which my skin loves. My redness was gonna enjoy it, but really, there was just a lack of innovation. And really, it's that lack of innovation that is probably the reason why this brand didn't stand out or gain a cult following of any kind. The beauty industry thrives on innovation, especially nowadays when people are constantly like, what's next? What's the next viral thing, product, ingredient, what's the next must-have product? They're considering all this before they've even finished up the products they already own. And JLo Beauty really didn't bring much newness to the table in terms of formulation, standout hero products, or innovation. Unlike Fenty, for example, which revolutionized inclusivity in makeup, really set the standard, or The Ordinary, although not celebrity beauty brand, it introduced a whole new world of active ingredients to the forefront of skincare. JLo Beauty felt more like a rehash of existing products without anything new or exciting to offer. It felt like repackaged old products, but olive oil? Now, a lot of people also saw JLo Beauty to be a luxury price tag without the luxury experience, despite the fact that she said that she wants this brand to be affordable and for everybody. The products were priced a lot higher than many comparable items on the market, particularly for a relatively new beauty brand. They were pricey, and consumers often felt that the prices were not justified, especially when many brands offer similar or superior products at more affordable rates. And in my opinion, the packaging did not look good. It looks so bad. Gold never looks luxurious when it comes to packaging, in my opinion, especially when you pair it with clear plastic. It looks a little bit drop shipped, it looks a little bit tacky. And as someone who has tried these products for myself and physically held them, they felt cheap. Simply like blocks of colored plastic. And whilst the products were nice to use, there was nothing luxurious about the process. So there was, of course, a huge disconnect between the price point and the demographic. JLo Beauty was remarketed both to her fans, like a broad audience, many of whom might not be able to afford the luxury prices, and that mature audience that she was trying to go for, who could potentially afford these higher end products. But this mix also kind of made it unclear which group the brand was primarily targeted to. Like, who are these products for? Also, you don't necessarily link JLo to the luxury market. Simply wearing luxury items just makes you rich. It doesn't make you fashionable or luxurious. Whilst being relevant in the beauty space back in the early 2000s, many didn't see JLo as a voice of authority on beauty today. And I will keep saying this would have worked in 2001 when I would have bought toilet roll because Jennifer Lopez says she used it. But the price is also another issue for those who can actually afford these prices. People who can afford to pay this kind of money on skincare probably aren't investing in celebrity beauty brands. They're probably investing in brands like Murad, for example. And unfortunately, this just kind of made JLo Beauty look like JLo merch rather than a serious beauty brand. Another huge issue with this launch, and honestly, I think something that overshadowed the whole launch in general, was the public perception of Jennifer Lopez's credibility when it comes to the campaigns and the interviews surrounding this brand. JLo pretty famously and controversially claimed that she has never used Botox, attributing her youthful look solely to her skincare and olive oil.
Okay, I just took off the mask. Honestly, I cannot even see a line on my face. It is glowy and gorgeous. Makes all the difference. And there's nothing dripping down my face. It's not messy. It's just beautiful. Leave it on for 20 minutes and 10 years. I feel like it took 10 years off my face.
This, of course, created skepticism amongst potential buyers of the brand because people are like, hang on, why is she suddenly talking about olive oil being her beauty secret all of a sudden? Why is she suddenly accrediting olive oil to her JLo Glow? People had this instant distrust for JLo herself and her skincare products, and this olive oil had become almost like part of the marketing strategy to connect her skincare line to her personal beauty routine and heritage and secrets. That being said, I've done my research and she had actually mentioned olive oil being her beauty secret a fair few times before the launch in 2021, including in 2014, an interview with People magazine, Allure and the Dr. Oz show in 2018, and constantly on and off on her social media. But this always is in relation to her heritage and what she grew up using. She doesn't discuss facials that she has done or anything like that. I think this mistrust mainly comes from her being a celebrity living in LA. People believed, of course, she uses expensive skincare and has Botox and fillers because everyone has, right? Every celebrity has. Was the mistrust warranted? Maybe. Another issue for me was that the vast majority of the promotional material for JLo Beauty was highly retouched and filtered. Now, before I go on, my expertise in this subject is I'm an editorial and advertising photography graduate, and I took a particular interest in digital retouching and photo manipulation. So I can spot retouching like that. I can spot filters, I can spot lighting, all that kind of stuff. That's where my education really is. Not only was she using filters and digital retouching, but there was a lot of no makeup that was very clear throughout the whole launch campaign. Like, no one's cheeks are that naturally bronzed. Like, we watched her masking with a full face of makeup on, and even videos that aren't highly produced, like the ones that appear on the website that appear to be shot just on like her phone or something alone in the bathroom, still seem to have some form of filter on them. And in an industry where transparency and authenticity is crucial, and we are seeing skincare brands use models with acne, dark spots, and seeing real before and afters, this fake perfect skin we see on JLo, this approach is so outdated and may have actually hurt her brand's credibility. And ultimately, the buzz just died down. After the initial launch back in 2021, media coverage, influencer reviews of the brand just pretty much stopped. Successful beauty brands usually maintain some level of ongoing excitement, right? Through product launches, influencer partnerships, or viral moments, and JLo Beauty massively struggled and still struggles in this area. People just don't care. And there is absolutely no buzz or excitement around what is JLo Beauty launching next. And that's kind of really reflected on the brand's social media, where they really struggle to build like a community. And whilst JLo's personal Instagram presence remains really strong, the engagement is amazing, the engagement and following for JLo Beauty's dedicated accounts have been noticeably lower compared to other celebrity beauty brands. For example, as of writing this video, JLo Beauty has 1.1 million followers, and their latest post was 2 days ago, and it has 1 comment because all the comments are limited, and 730 likes. My last post has 91 comments, 1,885 likes, and 29,000 views, and that's a bad day for me. Obviously an indicator of a brand struggling to build a loyal customer base and community around its products, which you need to sell your products. Another huge sign that the brand wasn't doing as well as they had hoped was that they had to exit Sephora. This would have played obviously a huge part in the decline of sales for JLo Beauty. In 2023, JLo Beauty saw sales of 5 million, which is a 33% drop in comparison to the previous year. And these poor sales actually led to JLo Beauty exiting Sephora, with store associates actually reporting that the products weren't even ever picked up, they weren't touched, they weren't looked at, they were literally on the shelves gathering dust. And in the summer of 2023, JLo Beauty actually cut its staff by 35% due to strategic decisions, with the then CEO Lisa Sequino leaving and going to Supergoop. I also feel that whilst all demographics buy beauty, it's not even those with their own disposable income that beauty brands have been trying to target. Especially since the pandemic, Gen Z and Gen Alpha are actually spending the most amount of money on beauty. And we can see that through best-selling brands like Glow Recipe, Bubble, Bioma, Laneige, and even Sol de Janeiro, who all stand out like a sore thumb. compared to JLo Beauty with its clear plastic and gold packaging, which just kind of blends into the background. They should have made it brighter, more joyful, like that dress that she was so famous for wearing, those kind of colors, kind of like Junebird type packaging. I don't know, something there. I don't know, like go more into like the olive tree. So whilst we may be lacking detailed public financial data showing a total failure of the brand, the combination of like a really lukewarm reception, market oversaturation, negative product reviews, store pullouts, and perceived lack of authenticity are all pretty good signs to suggest that JLo Beauty underperformed in what is a highly competitive market. And yes, whilst there are so many factors here that are almost too much to digest, I think the absolute flop of JLo Beauty really comes down to poor timing, unclear target audience, and more than lackluster products that have no identity other than a regular kitchen item. JLo's peak of popularity was during a time when celebrity beauty brands were rare. Celebrities endorsed a lot of products, but they never really owned a brand, and her face and popularity could have sold JLo toilet paper, like I said. But in a time when everyone and their mother are launching beauty brands, it takes more than a celebrity CEO or endorsement to be successful. And unfortunately for Jennifer Lopez's JLo Beauty, it was just 20 years too late. But let me know what you think. Why do you think this brand flopped so hard or didn't live up to the hype or the success that people thought this brand was going to be? Because in all fairness, it did have more hype than all the other celebrity beauty brands. Let me know if you tried the products in the comments down below. You could watch some, I don't know, an interesting playlist here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.